Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybrook Family Farm. So one of the big projects that's been driving me absolutely insane about this place, since we got it actually, is all of the trash piles. It was something that at first we had thought we were going to immediately tackle um, on this homestead, but as the seasons changed and our homestead priorities started, falling into place, like starting a garden and making sure our animals were well taken care of and had appropriate fencing and housing and all of that stuff. And as everything started waking up from the spring, basically all of the trash piles kind of got like forgotten about. And one of the beautiful things was alongside of the driveway here, there was multiple trash piles. There was tons and tons of literal just junk there that it was really nice because in the past, at some point, due to, all of the years of neglect, burdock, which if you don't know what dock is or burdock is, it is the plant that have like the big elephant ears. Burdock started growing throughout this entire area here, and basically hid our ginormous eyesore, which is a huge blessing for us. But now that it has become, it's December, so it's, almost wintertime, but it's not like officially winter yet. The eyesore has come back. So yesterday, today was trash day. So yesterday I gathered up as much trash as I could fit in our can, to start working on removing some of the trash that is here. So all in here, we have not been able to mow or weed whack or anything throughout this year. We initially were able to do a little bit of stuff until I realized that there was like wire places and chains places and just so much junk was buried here that it's ridiculous. Around a bunch of the trees, there was wires connecting a bunch of the different trees together. At some point, a previous owner was obsessed with putting like guidelines or whatever on different things, and he had done like ham radio stuff. So there's a bunch of like towers and poles and metal poles all over the place here, and all of these like wires that we kept getting the lawnmower stuck on, the weed whacker stuck on, ropes and strings, and it's just been a nightmare. So now that it is cold outside, which, as you can see in camera, it is snowing, but I have, multiple layers on so that way I'm not super freezing. And I got my Browns hat on because it's my thickest, warmest hat, and I always wear it to take care of the animals and stuff, so it probably is kind of a good representation of how the Browns usually are, kind of stinky and gross. But anyways, so here is the biggest trash pile that is close to the house, simply because we've cleaned up the one that was in the front yard. So over in here, which on camera you can't really pick it up very well, all of this here is actually trash. There's beer cans everywhere. When we first got this place, when I was working back behind the barn just to get it safe enough that we could bring the animals here and put up fencing and stuff, I had gotten like 4 of the lawn and leaf bags, like the big black trash bags, completely filled with beer cans, which I did recycle. So, I mean, I did the right thing with that. But there's just, when I talk about how much trash is here, I'm not even like overstating it or anything. Like, if anything, I'm actually understating it because half of the trash is like partially buried. So there is, which I couldn't do any of this stuff either whenever it was warmer out because there was a whole bunch of snakes that we kept seeing like crawling in and out of this big area here. But there's even like the foam board insulation stuff. They had apparently tried to burn some of this because, as you can see, there is a burnt piece of wood, and up further, actually on the cement pad area of the driveway, there is a broken like vanity mirror thing with, there's cardboard over top, so you can't hardly see it. But they literally just gutted out part of the house, threw it alongside of the driveway, and started lighting things on fire. So it is, honestly, it's amazing that this place never burnt to the ground before we got here. But then, like, we have a lot of our garden storage stuff, like our garden containers and things like that, just sort of strewn all over because we're waiting to get into this shed, which is probably going to be next week. It's supposed to be cold today and tomorrow, but then it's supposed to warm back up again, and tomorrow's a market day, so I don't have time to like start a big project such as opening up this shed and going through it and figuring out if this thing is even salvageable for us to put stuff in. But so we've just sort of added to the junk pile, I suppose it might look like it, of setting like containers and growing containers and things like that in here. But back in here, I had pulled out a massive amount of trash. We have one of them big, huge trash can things, that like the company gives you. I had that completely filled yesterday with just stuff that was here, that was left here, and stuff. So I don't know what kind of fish these people were growing, or I don't know. There's all of this like aquarium equipment stuff that I threw out that had like these huge filters, like if you've ever seen the whole house filters that are like a foot tall or whatever. There was like 4 of them hooked up in tandem and stuff. So I don't have any idea if they were like raising sharks. I don't know. Everything here is like a big mystery. But so back in here, I'll just walk back here. There is another buried trash pile that I had started working on uncovering. So back in here, this is all, like, it looks like it's just grass, but it's not. There's like bottles, melted stuff. So they also had evidently had a fire right next to this shed to burn more trash. So lucky the shed didn't burn down. So it's just, it's like a constant frustration of looking at stuff that is needing of being cleaned up. And it is finally the season in which that I can clean it, because also once things started really heating up with the homestead and with the season and trying to get the garden going and doing all of the normal homestead stuff, it was really easy to go, okay, all this trash pile stuff, this can wait till it's cold out. And if anything, it's better to do this while it's cold out, because then we don't have to deal with all the snakes. Even though I am in Ohio, a lot of people don't realize this, but there is venomous snakes in Ohio. They're just not that common. But some of them are like ridiculously venomous and will kill you. So you don't really want to be like piddling around in all of these trash piles, like grabbing broken glass and stuff. But even like back by the barn, there's multiple trash piles back there that I've also been working on. Those I've been working on ever since we got the place, because the chickens, since they're back there, they keep like scratching stuff up and like unburying things. And so you just like every time after it rains, you have to go back there and pick up glass and broken glass and shards of glass and stuff. It's just, this place is pretty trashy. Pun intended. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a frustration and an eyesore, and today I figured that what I would do is actually work on weed whacking down all of these really tall weeds that are in here, so then that way, as the snow comes and melts and rains happen and all of that stuff throughout the wintertime, then I will have the opportunity to go through and see stuff and be able to actually pick it out. So that'll also make it very, very nice for viewing out the living room window, because there's the living room window and this is the eyesore that you look at. So it's just, I don't know. Anybody that, well, if you have not been able to tell by now, I have OCD, and I really get bothered by things being unfinished, incomplete, and also by eyesores. So this place has been a very big challenge for me mentally to try to figure out where I can focus in on and focus out of, so that way I can like maintain my sanity and stuff. When we had our place in town, like everything outside had a specific place. There was a place for everything. It was very well organized, and it was kept quite meticulous for a homestead and stuff. Like our gardens always looked kind of chaotic because we were trying to grow so much stuff in such a small space. But like our flower beds looked nice. Everything looked nice. I was, obsessive about weed whacking and like making sure that everything looked tidy and nice and stuff, like, because I enjoy doing yard work. I enjoy this sort of a lifestyle and this sort of work, and I love working outside and stuff. So like being here has been like a massive, massive challenge for me, because of the fact that like I just keep, everywhere I look, it's like this needs done, this needs done, this needs done, this needs done. And it's been a very big challenge to try to let some stuff like wait till now. But now that it is cold outside, I am really jazzed to be able to like have more time to focus on fixing things inside of the house, but also to make out here more beautiful. Because like the other thing too, the other eyesore that we have is like right here. All of this, there's 3 different grape arbors here that have been severely neglected, that this wintertime I have the pleasure of trying to revitalize them and bring them back to life. But so yeah, every time we pull in and out, this is what we see, and it just it bothers me because it's not a reflection of the vision for what I have for this space. It's not a reflection of us and what we like and how we keep our home and stuff. So it's very hard to have this house be a physical representation of us, but it is not a physical representation of us yet. And it's just kind of hard to accept that this is a work in progress, and that, you know, people are just going to have to understand that it takes time to do this. But, you know, mainly the people that I have to explain that to is myself. But so yeah, I'm going to get busy to try to get some of this weed whacking done to beautify this space here. So if you guys are enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. And also, leave a comment in the comment section below if you guys have any like tips or tricks or anything like that as to how to get rid of so much broken glass that is here, because it'd be nice if in the future we could walk around without shoes on, like to be barefoot, at least in parts of the yard and stuff. But as it is right now, it's just, there's nothing but hazards everywhere that you step. Like, I've removed buckets of glass, like mop buckets full of glass that are just on the driveway, including like nails and screws and stuff. And when the roofers were here doing stuff, they used one of the magnetic sweeper things, and they went up and down the entire driveway for us because he knew how much trash there was here and stuff. And he pulled up, you know, handfuls of screws that, you know, weren't even from them because roofers use nails and stuff. But yeah, so it's been kind of frustrating to have to deal with all of this trash, and it's very discouraging. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.